I'm Jim Lusk. I'm a Middletown police officer, and I guess I'm here for a Best Man award. I'm in Middletown because I was in the Air Force for 12 years, and I loved it. Wright-Patterson was my last duty station, and because of a divorce, I had to make a decision of stay in the Air Force and see my boys 30 days a year, or get out of the Air Force and help raise them. Once I got out, it was pretty clear. I wanted to go back into law enforcement. I was a part-time law enforcement officer before I joined the Air Force, and ended up in Middletown because it was going to be close to where my boys were at, and it's a blessing, but was able to take part in raising them, and now they're grown adults, and I got the most beautiful, most intelligent granddaughter in the world. The city is resilient, and there are so many cities that seem to come and go. Middletown is steady. The people that have been here are staying here, and it's just got a lot of history. I think it's a very good city, and I think it's one of the best police departments around to work at. What advice would I give my 10-year-old self? That's hard because I think that our lives shape who we are now. So changing something back when I was 10 would change who I am right now. A lot of people might have a whole lot of ideas on things they would change about me, but I trust God. Really just count our blessings. There are so many people out there that are unfortunate that don't have near the blessings that I do. And I don't think I really realized how many people until I started here. There's just a lot of people out there that still try to help. As far as a person, probably my dad. He was a World War II veteran, smaller than me, from southern West Virginia. And he was a high school teacher for about 38 years. And he taught work ethics and just a world of practical knowledge that I wouldn't have got anywhere else. It's definitely been interesting. I'm 59 years old. I've seen a lot of different things happen. This is quite unique. There are a lot of pros and cons about it. Bigger picture, we've seen a lot of divide. You've got people on both sides that think the pandemic is more dangerous, some that think it's less dangerous. We see fights because somebody's got a mask or not mask, or it's pulled down over their nose or not. So it's been stressful for, I think, our community. We're seeing our churches, a lot of our institutions, having a hard time getting groups together, which, especially in a time when there's a crisis, if you want to call the pandemic a crisis, when you need to pull together, it's a unique one that has pushed people apart. I've been through a hurricane, and everybody that can comes from all around the country to help you and pitch in during a hurricane. This is pushing people apart. So as a community and a country, we've got to be careful. We can't let this divide us, and we've got to pull together and find out ways to get people back together and to do it safely. I had a woman that was one of those calls you get and you think it's not going to be what it is, and it was a woman with a knife. She'd been cutting herself, and she was coming at me with the knife. I was going to shoot her, and she stopped, started cutting more on herself. I was able to get the knife away from her, and long story short, we got the bleeding stopped. She actually pulled stitches out and bled out in the hospital that night. 3 years later, I had no idea who this woman was, but she came up to me and she said, "Thanks for not killing my mom." I was like, "Who?" And she told me, and of course, I knew right away who it was. So that was pretty special. And there's been more like that. You can do good in this town just by showing people you care.